minutes past 8 p.m. I am coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda. And this is our second live stream. I'm glad to be here. I do welcome each and every one of you from the different parts of the world. If you are watching from the motherland, you are welcome. If you are watching from Europe, you are welcome. If you are watching from the Americas, you are most welcome. If you are watching from the Caribbean islands, shout out to our, melanated kings and queens of the Caribbean islands, our melanated kings and queens from the Americas, from Australia, from Canada, from the Middle East, from Europe, from Asia, and right here from the motherland. You know, we are everywhere. So I mean, it's such a blessing to be coming to you from Kampala, Uganda. I realize these live streams will be much more, profitable and productive. So yes, we did have our very first live recording or live stream. I believe it was last Sunday, and this is our very second one. And we will be coming to you quite more often to share with you, updates on the upcoming African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo, and also uh, the upcoming collaborations that we do have with different other organizations that are dealing with a similar kind of undertaking. Welcome from wherever. I know in America it's probably it should be morning right now, late morning probably or mid morning in the Americas. But I thought I would catch you uh, before you all became busy. So if you're on, just give me a hi, give me a thumbs up, let me know what time it is, where you're at, and where you're watching from. Drop your state, drop a hi, say hello, and let's get this in the air. Let's get airborne. So we continue to speak about the state of the global African family. Yes, we continue to speak about that because I believe it's extremely important that we keep having these evaluations, so to speak, of where we are at as a global African people and how we can get from where we are to where we ought to be, from where we are to achieving our full potential as a continent, as a people, while leveraging on our heritage, leveraging on our history, leveraging on what we do have as a people, leveraging on the resources, the people, the natural endowments that we have from the Most High God. So, yeah, it is about time that we not just talk about the challenges and the solutions because we know what the challenges are and we know where the solutions lie. You see, there is no other change that we should expect except the change that we initiate as a people. One man wrote and said that we need to be the initiators of the change that we so greatly desire to see. So that's just about it. We will not be here waiting for some, miraculous happening. No, God has put in our hands, in our possession, everything that we need to um, uh, to break through, to succeed, to become successful as a global African people. You see, we do have everything that we need right now. We do have everything that we need. Last time, I believe I was, talking about how, despite of the exploitation of the African natural resources, they've only tapped into about 15 to 20% over the centuries. Imagine, and we know that these multi-billion dollar companies, they have, for long taken advantage of the African continent and her resources. But despite of that extreme exploitation, as we may see it, they've only been able to tap into about 15 to 20% of our natural wealth. So that means that we do have about 75 to 80% of our natural resources still, still intact. So that means that we have a lot to exploit ourselves. For a very long time, we have been building for other people. Believe me, I keep telling this to our people. For a very, very long time, we as an African nation, as a global African people, be it on the continent or our brethren that were taken during this era of slavery, we have built with our blood. We have built with our sweat. We have built with our tears. See, all these glories that we see, whether it is in Europe or the Americas or even Asia currently, you cannot disconnect any standing power from Africa. That's like the lifeline. If we, in our so-called ignorant state, in our so-called, uncivilized, savage state, we're able to build these glories of the Americas. We all know that, Europe and America, those are, these are in the past, by the way. Asia is the present, and Africa is the future. That's how it is, So we all know that what we see currently in the Americas, the glory, the development, the industrialization, all these developments, they were built on the blood, on the sweat, and on the tears of our ancestors who were taken from the African continent during the era of slavery. We know that. Same happens to Europe. So we have a track record as African people. We do have a track record of building for everyone else but ourselves. When you take a bird's view, an aerial view of Africa and Africans, be they on the continent or in the diaspora, we are only looked at as a cheap camp, a cheap labor camp for Western industry. That's all they see us as. That's all they see us as. I'm telling you, when they're looking at us, they're not looking at Ugandans. They don't see, oh, he's Kenyan. Oh, this person is Zimbabwean. Oh, this person is Afro-Caribbean. Oh, this person is Afro-European. Oh, this person is African American. No, no, no. It is we that see each other as such. As, oh, you're from there, you're an Afro-Caribbean, or you're an Afro-Jamaican, or you're an Afro-European, or you're an African American, or you are Ugandan. No, look, it is we that look at each other as different, as this and that. But the other people, the other ethnic people, especially the nationals that have worked for so long to keep us subjugated, they do not look at us as Ugandan. They don't look at us as Zimbabwean. They don't look at us as Kenyan. They don't look at us as Zambian or Malawian or South African. No, they don't look at you as Afro-Caribbean. They don't look at you as African American. No, they don't look at you as Afro-Chinese or whatever. They look at us as Africans. Once they see a melanated person, a black person like you that is watching, or me, myself over here in Uganda, they see African. And the moment they see this color denotes a threat. Oh yes, melanin is now a global threat, because if Africans keep spreading on the rate at which they're spreading, you see, this is statistically documented. In fact, there was an example that was given by a certain professor. He was demonstrating the power of color. He was, trying to demonstrate with students at a university, I believe, the power of color. You know what this professor did? What he did, he got all other colors, name them, or yellow, white, pink, you name all the other colors. So he got those colors, and then he put them in a pot, a certain, pot, and he mixed all those colors. You name all the colors that you know of. This guy he was trying to, demonstrate the power of color and the power of black. So when you can also actually do this experiment yourself. Get all the other colors, mix them together. Over time, they will all turn into black. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that if Africans keep spreading at the rate at which they are, if they keep spreading into Asia, if they keep spreading into Europe, if they keep spreading into America, like they've already done, now we have more than what? 47 million Africans in America, not African Americans. And by the way, don't be proud to call yourself African American. No, be proud of your roots. They're trying to call you African Americans to disconnect you from your heritage, which is Africa. We know that. Because if you remember the progression, there's been a progression in the terminologies that they used to describe our folks, our brethren, our kings and queens in the Americas. At first, they were called what? At first, they were called Negroes, right? And then from Negroes, then they became coloreds, if you remember. Then from coloreds, then they transitioned to blacks. And then from blacks, then they were transitioned to African Americans. You see, and now they're trying to push that into the background and now call them the minority. You understand? So all these identity games, don't fall for them. So call yourself a proud African. Before they came to the African continent, Africa was one nation, divided into different kingdoms. You understand? Not these 50 or so countries that we see currently in Africa. We were one. So when they keep tossing you back and forth, oh, you're Negroes. Oh, no, now you're blacks. No, now you're colored, people of color. Oh, no, now you're African Americans. That's just an identity game to try and disconnect you subconsciously from your true heritage, which is the source of life, which is the land of Adam, the first human being. I hope Adam was a black man. Yes. Adam means, he was the first human. Human means humus man. Humus is dark, black earth, black dot earth. All right. So moving on, I was saying that it is high time now that we become extremely conscious of the need to come to the motherland. For those of you that have never been here, probably I see some people are already logged on. Just drop me a hello, where you're watching from, and give me your name and the time where you're at. Right now in Kampala, it's 34 minutes past 8 p.m. It's a Monday evening. All right. So, and you are welcome. Feel free to like this live stream, share the link, invite somebody. Let's talk about Africa. Let's talk about Africans on the continent and all our brethren, the kings and queens of African descent that are spread all over the world. So, why is it? What is it about me always coming on and telling you about you need to come home, you need to come home, you need to come home? Listen, Africa is the last battleground. It is the last battleground. It is the last hope of the world. Look at the world now. All this moral decadence, all this economic turmoil, all this political confusion in the world, all this social turmoil in the world. Africa is the safe haven. It is a safe haven for the entire world. It is the future. America, Europe, with all due respect, I love you, my people. But America, Europe, those are in the past now. Their reign is over. Now it is Asia. You see, it is Asia. Africa is the future. Excuse me. And the Asians know this. So what are they doing? They are coming to the African continent and buying hundreds of thousands of land. Even Europeans, even American corporations, the big tech companies. Look at this company that is owned by this Jeff Bezos, Amazon. They bought. Do you know how much land in terms of kilometers they bought in South Africa? They're putting up a major facility. These guys know that America is falling. I don't mean disrespect to America, but look at the moral decay in America. Look at what's happening right now. There is no stability in the family. There is no respect for parents. There is no respect for elders. There is no respect for leadership. In America now, a woman can say, no, I'm a man now. A man can say, no, I feel like a woman. Very soon, our people will be saying, I feel like an apple. I feel like a guava. No, 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 no. For me, I feel like a puppy. And then I mean, look at the moral decay. Look at the moral decay. And this is not the first time that this is happening. No, no. Remember the Roman Empire? You remember the Roman Empire? Those guys, the era of the Caesars, Those guys, they are bad. They ruled, they brought the entire world, the entire earth under submission. The Romans, they are the army. In the back in the days, you didn't have multiple superpowers. It was winner takes all. You go to war, you win. You the other armies, you take them as slaves. You take the women, you take the armies, and all of that. So at the height of the Roman rule of the entire world, you could not beat them militarily. You could not. They were so fortified because what they did is they are the ones that introduced the current system of occupation. Because in previous dispensations, when an enemy army invaded and they overtook you, they won you in battle. What they did was to uproot the people and take them back to their own country. The country of the army or the nation or the kingdom that won the war. They would uproot the women. They would uproot the children. You remember that's the Babylonian captivity. I don't want to go so much into history, but then Africa is just it's sitting on history, on the wealthiest mine of history, the wealthiest bank of history. That's where we are sitting. That's why that they've tried so much to miseducate our people about talking about Africans on the continent. They don't like you, and then over here they're telling us you are not Africans. I'm like, if you don't talk to me and you just look at me and I just look at you, we both have the same black skin. Of course, I'm honest. I probably could say, I could probably greet you in my language because I think that you're probably, a Ugandan or a person from the Buganda kingdom. So my point is, it's the color that ties us in. Whether or not you like it, you cannot disconnect yourselves from the motherlands. And that's the deception that they've been trying to push into, through the education system, through the media, or through the cultural establishments. This is the deception that they are pushing. So we don't fall for it. So I was getting back. So in previous dispensations, previous generations, in times past, when when two nations went to war, if two nations felt that they could go head to head, then they made plans to come to war. When they came to war, all other kingdoms in previous times, or other nations, superpowers, they would come, invade a country or have war. Then when they prevailed against, when one nation or one kingdom prevailed against the other, they would uproot the population and take them back to their own country, to the country of the nation and the kingdom that won the battle, you see. But the Romans, they didn't do like that. And that's the reason as to why they overcame. That's the reason as to why they put the entire earth under subjugation, under Roman rule. What they did, which was different, was they came to a country, they invaded you. They didn't uproot you when they won the battle. They didn't uproot your armies and took them as slaves. They didn't take your men, women, and your army as slaves. No. What they did is they brought Romans into your country, which produced the current, setup of occupation, or the armies of occupation. That's how they were able to subdue. So they brought Romans into your country, and they Romanized that population of the country that they defeated. So talking about I'm coming. So they could not be defeated militarily. These Romans, you could not beat them. Why? Because what happens is when they came and invaded a country, for example, when they invaded the Grecian Empire, the Greeks, when they invaded the Grecian Empire, they did not uproot the Greeks and take them back to Rome. No, rather they brought Romans into Greece, and they did what is called an army of occupation. And so what they did is they began teaching Roman values. They began indoctrinating the people whom they had defeated. They began, teaching them the Roman literature, the Roman history. You see, that's how they colonized the entire world successfully. And actually, every other country or kingdom that successfully colonized other countries used the Roman template: occupation, They came, for example, the British, when they came to the African continent, they invaded they invaded the palaces of the kings, and they brought British soldiers to the countries of Africa, for the countries that were colonized by the by the Britons. So they brought them here, and they began teaching English. They began teaching us about Queen Elizabeth. They began teaching about. I mean, they began renaming things. So that's how they began is destroying and rebuilding the social, mental, psychological, and emotional infrastructure of the people. That's how they colonize people effectively. So the Roman Empire would not be defeated militarily. You could not beat these guys militarily. Same as America and Europe. They are so fortified in terms of technology. They are so fortified in terms of the military setup. They are so fortified economically, as we speak, quote unquote. But what dealt a death blow to the Roman Empire is it self-destructed. It decayed, it rotted from within because of the moral decay of the Romans. That's how it split up into different small kingdoms, Espanol, Europe. I mean, just giving a bit of history. So Roma, the count is about 12 Caesars, the leaders of the kings of the Roman Empire, and 10 of them were homosexuals. 10 of those guys, they were homosexual. You understand? They would sleep with little boys. Sort of like what is happening to America right now. Sort of what is happening to Europe right now. Could it be that, yes, America cannot be defeated militarily? They cannot be defeated in terms of technology. Europe cannot be defeated militarily in terms of technology. Could it be that America is self-destructing right now because of the moral standards dropping? Unsurprisingly, it is the African populations that are still standing against those, those social destructions. You understand? That is why they are making it a point to feminize our men. Yes, that is why they're dividing the man from the woman. You understand? They are weaponizing the women. They're telling our queens in America and in Europe, and now they're trying to push the agenda to Africa. You understand? So they're telling the women, no, 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 you don't need your man. You can be a strong, independent, black woman. You're good on your own. That's what they're telling the women. And they come to the men and they gangsterize them. They criminalize them. They feminize them. They're trying to turn them into homosexuals. So they lose their inability to relate with their women, their queen, as the provider, as the protector, as the man, as the head of the households. You see, that is why America it has the highest percentage of the global prison population. And all those people in the American prisons are black people. I'm telling you, more than 60% of the prisoners in American prisons are black men. See how they're breaking the family structure. You see, because if you remember, for our folk in the Americas, you remember the Civil War, during the civil movement, civil rights, yes, civil rights movement. Do you remember that we were winning the war, that civil rights movement? Yes, we were. Do you remember what they did? They came with women equality. The Caucasians, the white women, they came in and they said, no, we want equality. And now they brought in the women that were white, and they began identifying as disenfranchised. Now they began pulling the black people, the black women. So they pulled the black women away from the men. But they were winning because the kings and queens, the black people, were hand in hand. The woman was fighting right next to her husband. And they were painting a picture in the eyes of their children of what a strong black family looks like, which is the father, a male father, and a mother, a female mother, and male and female children. So when you look at all of that, you see that Africa, the Most High, God has preserved Africa. That is why Africa is the future. So you person that is watching me, that is of African descent, please our people need to wake up. We need to wake up. Globally, we need to wake up and realize that there is no one that is coming on a UFO, Cinderella, coming to save us. We have everything that we need. What we do not have, We do have the capacity to acquire. Folks, brethren, this is it. Stop looking at Africa as that country that, I normally watch some videos online and they're asking people, name 5 countries in Africa. And they say, Beijing, Paris. I'm like, you're kidding. So you see what they've successfully done. They have successfully miseducated our people about their true heritage, about the truth regarding Africa. And see how it is now playing out. Over there, you have been educated to look at Africa as this continent of sick people, the place of the den of the sick, the den of the diseased, the den of the disenfranchised, the den of the poor, the den of those that have no water, the den of war, the den of beggars, the den of unfortunate people. See, that's the picture that they have painted of Africa, of your motherland, the very same continent that is the lifeline of Europe, Asia, America, the entire world. I mentioned all the centuries, the more than 500 years that they've kept us subjugated as African people on the continent and in the diaspora. For more than those 500 years, they've only tapped into 15 to 20% of our natural resources. What does that mean? That means that if we put a lockdown, if we quarantined our resources, the world would be in ICU the next day. The next day. I'm telling you. See, they need us. Look, they need us. They need us. I'm telling you that is watching me. You king, you queen. They need you. They need us. They need our resources. They need the land. They need the people. We have the youngest population in the entire world. In the entire world. And look at the populations in America. Aging. Europe. Aging. Asia. Look at Japan. So the best way that they can keep us divided is to keep painting a picture of Africa that is dirty, that is distorted, that is unlikable, that they will make you hate your homeland. Yet, they are landing in their thousands every day. Every day. I can tell you for sure that there are certain parts of Uganda where I'm at right now. You will go and you will think that this is Europe. They are arriving by their thousands, the tens of thousands. They are coming here because they know that you better secure your future now because Europe is falling apart. America is falling apart. Look at China. China is now engulfing them militarily, swallowing them economically. China has stood. It has been the superpower and fast developing for the past 30 years. American dominance of the globe is falling. America is no longer the superpower. Europe are no longer the superpower. Have you listened to the countries that have recently joined NATO? Including Germany? No, NATO. No, NATO. The BRICS. Sorry. Have you listened? Do you know the BRICS? It was set up to rival NATO. And the IMF and the World Bank. I was looking at the countries that have joined. Turkey is soon to be approved because it's currently made of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And surprisingly, 2 of the world's countries, of the world's with the largest population, India and China, they're in the BRICS. So they are rivaling America and Europe. Look, my people, don't wait for the floods to fall. Don't wait for the sun to drop on your head. Come home. They are taking advantage of Africa. They keep telling you, oh, no, in order to move to Africa, you need special medication. You need this vaccine. You need that medication. And they are not, look, they need those vaccinations. They need those medicines. Why? They are not native to the land of Africa. You, black people, black you that is watching me right now, you do not need those medicines because you are native to the land. They are not native to the land, so they need those medications. So they are making you hate Africa because they know if you keep holding a distorted image of Africa, you will not desire to move to the African continent. And if they keep you undesiring to move to Africa, then they will keep you there in the past and they will move here. By the time you come to the African continent, they have set up systems of oppression to keep us oppressed in our continent. So when you come after what 40, 50 years, if Jesus doesn't come back by then anyway, if then they'll set up structures and they'll do, these guys they actually have a plan. Did you know that they do have a plan to keep us in districts to man, these guys, Banana guy, man, they have a plan in the next 40 years to divide up Africa and put the natives into villages, put them into camps, like concentration camps, and take up the good of the land, the ports, the capital cities. This is the plan they have. And it will be implemented if you people, the diaspora, the silver bullet to the neo-colonial, imperialistic, oppressive economic, social, political, and cultural and economic systems, it will happen. But no, look, for me, I'm not going to stand here and just be talking and talking and talking. I can assure you that before the end of this year, my appointment is going to be final into public office. Yes, and I'm going to be championing the cause for a united Africa. Our diasporans coming home, easily getting citizenship, not having to provide. I don't know how you call them. There's those things you do. How do you call them? When they take your sample, your DNA sample, and they put it into a lab, and then they tell you you're from this country. You're from, how do you call them? Someone help me. Drop that thing in the comment. That how that process where they take your DNA sample and then they run it through a lab, and then after, I don't know, a few weeks or a few months, they come back with the results and they tell you that you're I think 5% Nigerian, 10% Sierra Leonean. I forgot the name of what it's called. But if you know what that's called, be sure to enlighten me. It's 6 minutes to 9 p.m. and I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda. I want to welcome everyone that has just tuned in. Be sure to like the live broadcast, drop a comment, tell us where you're watching from, tell us the time where you're at. It's coming to a 5 minute. It's 8:54 p.m. East African time, and I'm glad to have you on board. We are talking about the state of the global African nation, and how I would love for us to have a live panel. I don't know how to do it. You'll pardon me. I'm trying to get my hands on this technology thing. I want to be able to be able to see you, be able to see me. I need to be able to talk to you directly. I don't want to be talking the whole hour. No, I want to be able for us to interact. Just so when I hear your thoughts on different things. But I want to welcome you to our second live stream. We shall be having Oriet. We have uh, brother from Ozark, Alabama, USA. All right, all right, all right, all right. So you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to this live stream. And we are talking about the state of the global African nation. Where are we at? Where are we heading? How do we get to where we want to go? And we did tell you that we are, all right, you are from Ozark, Alabama, USA. You are welcome, brother. Glad to have you on board. So be sure to. We are working out a way where we can, where we will be able to see each other. I think I was told it's done through StreamYard or a live Zoom conference call. I think we should try that so we are able to exchange and have healthy, interactions. Yes, I want to take this opportunity to remind us all about the upcoming African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo, the ADICE, the ADICE, the African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo. It is happening on the 22nd to the 25th of June 2023 in Kampala, Uganda. Yes, you are welcome home. This is opportunity for those of you that have never been to the African continent. Come visit the Pearl of Africa. The Pearl of Africa, the only country in the world which prior to 1967 the Israelis wanted to buy. Sorry, we got disconnected. Sorry about that. I was telling you about the African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo that is happening in Kampala, Uganda, from the 22nd to the 25th of June, this June 2023. It is an avenue where we will be exposing our diasporan brethren to the infinite realm of possibilities in investment. Look, Asians come here and in 5 years, they make Fortune 500 companies. European corporations come here, even individuals. They come to the African continent, and in 4 to 5 years, they make Fortune 500 companies. Americans come here. If they can come here and take advantage of the resources, of the land, of the investment opportunities, then why not us? Why not us? Why don't we take advantage of our own motherland? So it is an opportunity. The network is a bit it's a bit achy. I do apologize about that. We need to move to a more stable connection, but I hope you can still hear me. The details can be Brother Sam. If you're online, please be sure to drop the website. We do have our team of leadership in the Americas, led by Brother Sam Bunham and Sister Maketa Star. Please do well to get in touch with them if you need the information. Brother Sam is how do you tag? I'm just new to this whole. I'm new to this whole experience of the online streams, but I think you go to live chat, and how do I type it in? All right, but the website to the event is Africa Exodus Foundation.org. That is Africa spelled AFREEKA, Exodus spelled EXODUS, Foundation, the word foundation, FOUNDATION, Africa Exodus Foundation.org. That is Africa spelled as AFREEKA, then Exodus spelled EXODUS, then Foundation, FOUNDATION.org. That is the website for the expo. Be sure to register ahead of time, plan your bookings. We do have a good relationship and a good partnership with Ethiopia Airlines. They've promised to punch in a good discount on the tickets for those that are flying in from America and from Europe and other parts, as long as we can determine how many people are coming and which dates they're departing from the US or Europe, and from which states or cities they're departing. Then be sure that we're going to get a good discount from the Ethiopia Airlines office. I've already had talks with them. They've already given us the paperwork to fill in. So we're just waiting to get a good number of people so they can give us a discounted ticket prices. I encourage you, our people, come home. Move past that the psychological barriers. Refuse to be held back by these lies that are being spread through the media about Africa, about your motherland, about your heritage, about your history. Refuse to be victim of the education system, how they are miseducating you about the mother. Refuse to fall prey. Refuse to be victimized. Make up your mind that you will be reconnected to your motherland. Because believe me or not, a child that you have, there is this thing called surrogacy. Surrogate mothers, where they take, I think, sperm from a man and they inject it into a woman. So, or rather, the woman is unable to have children, and she's the baby is given to another woman, and the woman gives birth to a child. That child does not belong to the other woman. That child, it does not belong to you, that the surrogate mother. You understand? So regardless of how many investments you will ever set up, eventually you will not be allowed to prosper in America. That's just the way the system is set up. Yes, because they know what they've done to you. They know what they've done to African people. They cannot let them have economic power, because they fear that when we regain our economic power, our political power, and our social cultural power that we had before we were colonized, they are fearful that once we regain that power, that we shall do to them what they have done to us or what they continue to do to us. That's their fear. And that's why, people cannot invest. They cannot make investments from America. I've had cases of more than 5 people that have tried to move their money to invest outside of America. And on the second or third attempt, they were blocked. I know of one particular sister. I worked with her. She's from Minnesota, I think, or Missouri. She tried to make up, they made a group of, people. I think there were about 4 or 5. They made an investment group and they started making some major investments in West Africa. I believe it was Sierra Leone. And then on the third attempt, her accounts were blocked. Now she works in a very good company. She works in GM Motors, right? That's the name of the company, the vehicle manufacturing company. And she's like a top executive. So she has the proof to show that this is her money, that the money that she has in her account matches the kinds of the kind of office that she carries. So they know that this is her money. They know that this money she's making from this job that she's doing at General Motors. Yes. So they blocked her account when she tried to move that money from the US to make an investment in Sierra Leone because she wanted to move to America. Then she wanted to leave America. So that is what is happening. So you cannot be allowed by the system to prosper or to obtain a particular level of success that is significant enough because they assume that when we as African people, be it on the continent or you folks in the Americas, our brethren, our kings and queens in Americas, they are fearful that when you regain your economic power, your social power, your political power, your cultural power, they fear that that we might do to them what they're doing to us. They fear that the conversation in America right now will switch from equality to vengeance. That's what they fear. And that's why the political system now in Mississippi, yes, I heard that they are passing a bill. They're planning to pass a bill to reenact the Jim Crow laws. Is that correct? Who is from Mississippi? That's watching right now. Well, I'm not in America, but I follow because I have to follow what's happening to my folks, to my people. But that's what I heard. I don't know. It was the bill passed. Somebody talk to me. There was that bill in Mississippi that was being debated, Jim Crow laws. I think if I understand correctly, Jim Crow is when our people used to be lynched, right? Hung in public, So I don't know if was the bill passed. See, this is why we need to have a live, interface, an interactive stream. So because this is not a dictatorship, I want to be able to hear from you. I want to be able to see your faces, I want to be able to interact with you and be able to ask you questions, be able to receive questions from you. That's how I want it. So if there is a tech person on here, be sure to help us connect in a way that can make provision for a live interaction where you can see me and I can see you the way you can see me, So that is what is happening. So basically, I was saying there is no better time to invest in the motherland than right now. Africa is the future. Africa is the future. Africa, your motherland, my motherland, our motherland is the future. Sister Shirley Spence, you are welcome. You are welcome. Once again, I hope you're not having any more tech glitches. We had a bit of a technological interference. Yeah, but Sister Shirley, you've been, thank you for following. Not just Sister Shirley, but every person, every king and queen that has followed us right from 2020. You've been supporting us. The donations, we've received, significant amounts of donations about the expo, the African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo, which is happening on the 22nd to the 25th of June, 2023 in Kampala, Uganda. We want to expose you to the infinite realm of possibilities in investment. Whoa, listen, my people, you cannot exhaust the investment opportunities in Africa, in Uganda alone. I'm not going to talk about the 300 million tons of gold that was discovered. I'm not going to talk about the oil that was discovered, the uranium. Every day there's minerals that have been sitting dormant that they couldn't find. Thank God He covered them by his wings. I mean, there's in Nigeria right now, they have discovered California. I'm sure you've heard of California. 1 gram is like what, $270 million. Look, your motherland is loaded, is rich. Your continent is rich. That's why they don't want you to come here. They want to keep you there where they have control over you, because they know that over there they'll keep you in the box of the minority, and they know that over here you are the majority. You are the voice of the majority because you live among the people that you look like. Yes, yes. You see, there is something about numbers, and I tell people we are not outnumbered. No, we are not overpowered. No, no. The bill passed in the lower house. The Senate has to pass that bill. Well, how does that? So does that mean it's going to pass the Jim Crow bill? So does that mean that because it passed in the Senate that it's likely to pass, and the Jim Crow laws are going to be reenacted in Mississippi? And when it happens in one state, believe me, other states are going to pick it up. Why? Because they are looking at you as an increasing threat. Now Africa, our people are waking up, not just on the continent, but in the diaspora. Our people are waking up to the oppression that we've had, that we've been undergoing, that we've endured for centuries. They are waking up now to the economic systematic oppression, to the systematic cultural exploitation, the social exploitation, the political exploitation, and they know that their time is limited. That's why they're moving to these are kicks of a dying horse. Fear not. Be not afraid. Don't fear them. Fear is not an African thing. Fear is of Satan. Fear is of the devil. Do not fear them. What else can they do to us? Let me ask you, Sister Shirley, what else can they do to you? They have already done to you all they can do to you. Yes, and you've survived. Look at Africans. I'm telling you, they've already done to us as African people all that there is to do to us. If it's lynching, they have lynched our people. Look at what Leopold did in the Congo. More than 30 million Congolese were killed. More than 30 million. Can you think about that? 30 million. And all they do is push the Holocaust in our faces. Oh, Holocaust, Holocaust. Look, do you know that 30 million people by one greedy guy, cutting off their mouths, cutting off their tongues. You look it up. I'm not trying to make these things up. Look it up. Of course, if you go on the internet and you try to look it up, how many people were killed during King Leopold's reign in the Congo, of course they're going to tell you 10 million. But I'm a journalist. I know that if it's about death toll, what in Arabic we call al-adad al-katla, the death toll. If they said 5 million, multiply that by 6, because they manipulate figures. So you are a threat. We are a threat. Africans are a threat to the global establishment. I'm telling you. But I'm telling you, they say that the odds are against us as African people. Who said anything about the odds? Who cares about the odds? I don't care about the odds. I'm telling you. Do you know why? Because we are strong people. They have already done to us everything that there is to do to us. I'm telling you, if it is killing us, they've killed us. They've dropped our ancestors in the oceans. I'm telling you, we survived. We've survived colonialism. We've survived slavery. We've survived imperialism. We have survived neocolonialism. We are still here, still black as ever, beautiful more than ever, stronger than ever. I'm telling you, more enlightened than ever, more woke than ever. So, for you that is watching me, that is probably having second thoughts about moving to the motherland, look, this is the future. This is the future. So this expo, we are not coming to talk about problems and talk about solutions. No, we are coming to take action in the solutions, which is why I want to take this opportunity to send a big shout out to Brother Larry, to send a big shout out to Brother Samuel Banham, to send a big shout out to Brother Arthur Johnson, to send a big shout out to Brother Jerry Britton. These guys have already started. I've helped them to get their companies established. Right now, Brother Larry is beginning a production plant in Wakiso district. his company is registered. So these are, we can do this. We can do this. They want to keep us away from each other. Talking about, no, Africans don't like you. Who said? Who told you that? But that's how cowards breathe. They survive on our division. These guys are cowards, yo. They survive on dividing us. They survive on keeping us hateful of each other. They survive on making us hate our history, hate our heritage, hate our roots. That's how they survive. Then after making us hate each other, hate our roots, hate our history, then they come to our motherland. The very motherland that they have made us hate. And they begin extracting resources. Do you understand? Who does that? We are not seeking vengeance. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. We are not looking to do to them what they've done to us. We don't want to do to them what they do to us. Because if we go that direction, it will be ugly. We don't even want to go there. I'm not condoning violence at all. I'm just saying we can rebuild our motherland. We can rebuild the glory that we had before we were broken into slavery and colonialism. I'm telling you, we have everything that we need. What we do not have, I keep telling our people, we have the ability to acquire whatever we do not have. Yes, it is time for us to stop building for other people and start building for ourselves. To build generational wealth, family wealth, to leave actual inheritance in the hands of our children and their children and their children's children and their children's children's children. Tens of thousands of generations to come. It is time that we begin building. You cannot build your kingdoms on water in Europe, in America. You cannot build your investments, your wealth on the sand. That's Europe and America. Why do I call it sand and water? Because those continents, those places, they already have systems in place to keep you from succeeding, to keep you from not making any money, to keep you in a place where they have control. You can only succeed to this level. And if you go beyond, you are a rapist, you are a drug dealer, you are a pedophile, you are R. Kelly, you understand? So they keep you within the cage. So even when you're a celebrity and you obtain, gold status, you have to keep within the cage. You can't empower your black people. You can't do any projects in African communities. You can't do that. If you do that, they'll begin labeling you. They'll Nipsey Hussle you. They'll Michael Jackson you. I'm telling you, they'll Whitney Houston you. Yes, they will Bill Cosby you. That's what they do. That's what they do. Why? They're trying to play psychological games, to tell other people that are coming up that, look, you have to keep within the cage. Leave the cage. Come to the African continent. Come to this expo. And the beauty about Africa is you don't need millions of dollars to build Fortune 500 companies. Because of the weight of the dollar, you can do a lot with little. I'm telling you. I am telling you, that is the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter. The cost of living is so low. It is so low. I'm telling you, I live in an $80 apartment. Look at that. Look at that. You can't believe that, but that's the truth. So $80 times 12 months. How much is that? That's $960. My rent is paid for $960 as I'm finishing up my residence. So I'm currently living on $960 a year in my rent. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you of how low the cost of living is. Why wouldn't you want to come to such a place? In 4 to 5 years, you can build a Fortune 500 company in Africa, in Uganda here, the Pearl of Africa. Now Chinese are everywhere, Europeans are everywhere. There is a new scramble and partition of the African continent. So I tell my people, it is now time that you stop thinking about coming, that you begin making solid preparations. And I'm glad Sister Shirley, she reached out to me and you expressed interest to come. Don't let your desire be clouded. No. If it has been put in your heart to come, do just that. Come home. Establish your future. Secure the future of your children. Okay, if you're not thinking about yourself, think about your children. Do you think they will survive in the way that Europe and America is currently set up? If you're a black person, you're a thief. If you're a black woman, you're a prostitute. They're trying to corner our women, tell them you don't need your men. And the men, they're feminizing them. I mean, look, what kind of society defies nature like that and think you'll survive? You will self that those kinds of societies from history. We have a track record from history to show that such societies will self-destruct. And when they self-destruct, you don't want to be caught in there. You don't want to be called in, you don't want to be caught in there. So I encourage you, make your registrations. Do your registrations on the website. I think I did share the website link. It is africaexodusfoundation.org. Africa spelled with AFREEKAEXODUS. Then foundation, africaexodusfoundation.org. Foundation OUNDATION.org. So it's Africa spelled with double R. No. Single R, double E. Then KA, the letter K. So that's how. Log on to the website. Register. Be sure to drop a donation because this event is totally funded by you and I. And I want to send a shout out. I want to send a shout out to yes, Sister Shirley Spence. You're really tagged in. You're really tuned in. And I don't know the other person that is on, whether it's a king or a queen. Be sure to drop me a message. Say something. So, Sister Shirley, do drop me an email with your coordinates so we can have an interface. We can have like a one-on-one, like an actual conversation. But I encourage our people, do come to the motherland. Visit the motherland. Look at what you've been missing out on for centuries. Come and finally break free from those lies that you've been told through the system and through the media. You've been told lies about us. We've been told lies about you. So we look at each other like enemies, and grow apart and not think about connecting. Because they know once we reunite, bingo, it's over. Yes, Africa is the future. Your motherland is the future. We are not outnumbered. No. We are not overpowered. No. We are simply not organized. And our disorganization, our disunity is by design. It is by design. They have designed it that way. That kept us, educating us. No. Those African Americans, they're not even Africans. Then who are they? You look like me. I look like you. We all black. Some may be light, some may be a bit dark, some may be like really dark. Or, there's that beautiful black. I mean, if you're black and I'm black, then what does that make us? All things being equal. It makes us African. It makes you my sister, or my brother, or my auntie, or my uncle, or my cousin, or my nephew. It doesn't matter. We are one. We are one people. It is high time we came together, and we are available here. We are working directly with the blessing of the Ugandan government, and I want to take this opportunity to send a big shout out to His Excellency Ambassador Abi for always hearing us out, and I want to send a big shout out to Sister Olivia, who is the Director of Trade and Investment for the Diaspora Office of the President. She's based in the USA. I want to send a big shout out to you, Sister Olivia. She's such a big support. She came over in Uganda last year. We had a wonderful time. I did interview her. She will be coming to the expo. So we are working directly with the blessing of the government of Uganda. Not just Uganda. Botswana, we are working with Honorable Miss Nani Kereng, Honorable Nani Kereng, Botswana. Botswana is my second home, by the way. She's the Minister of Tourism, Natural Resources, and Environment in Botswana. We are working directly with the South African Head of International Business and Consultancy, Dr. Hosea Tagara. It's a big family. So we are working with Kenya. Actually, I will be in Nairobi to meet the President's office of Kenya. I'll be in Nairobi to meet the President's one of the senior right-hand men of the President, Dr. Subi. I'll be meeting him next month so we can discuss of expanding the repatriation, because we want to be able to repatriate some people to East Africa. East Africa, I mean Uganda, then Kenya, then some to Tanzania. I've already been to Tanzania. I've already spoken to Madam, well, I think for confidentiality, I won't say her name, but we're talking to the people that make the decisions. So it's not just Uganda. It is Kenya, it is Tanzania, it is Botswana, it is Zimbabwe, it is South Africa. That's how we want to spread. We want to be able to open up the motherland to our diasporans to return, to move with their families, set up businesses, become part of the land, become part of the people, like relocate with their families, set up businesses. And that is what the African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo, the first edition, that is what it is set out to do. Primarily to expose you to the infinite realm of possibilities. Whether you want to invest in agriculture, you can't beat the market. And now we are in an East African setting. You can't exhaust the market. Now, if you want to invest in agriculture, if you want to invest in real estate, if you want to invest in medicine, in science, in health, in technology, if you want to invest in I don't know, different kinds, it doesn't matter. You could want to invest in a particular thing. Okay. Because there are already people that are telling you, okay, what if I have this amount of money? What can I do? I tell them, okay, it depends. If you have something in mind, then we can guide you through, the company registration process and putting you in touch with local players, legal attaches. We do that. But then there are people that have skills that they want to, transplant here. There are people that are, for example, nurses or engineers that want to do their trade here. We invite them to do that here. We will help them. So be sure to log on to the website, africaexodusfoundation.org. That is Africa spelled with AFREEKA. Then Exodus, EXOUDS Foundation, Africa Exodus Foundation.org. I don't know, Sister Shirley, if you know how I can type the website link in the chat, live chat. I'm not sure that I'm familiar with how to do that, but I'll be sure to edit the video and put the website link in the description. So thank you for all of our people that have been tuning in from the beginning. Thank you for making the time to follow us. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, share the link, drop a comment, drop us an email, and drop a donation, because this event, this Africa Exodus Foundation, is a non-profit organization that it's totally, privately funded. You are the private funder. I am the private funder. It is funded by you and I. And I want to thank, the people that have gone out of their way and that sacrificed their monies to invest in the expo. There's lots that we need, there's a lot that still needs to be in place. So if you do have, in the way that you're able and willing, be sure to reach out to us. And if you have financial means to make a donation of whichever amount that you're able to do, we'll gladly appreciate, and we'll put it to good use to see to it that this vision of inviting our African brethren home, helping them get established, helping them visit, set up businesses, and gradually relocate to the motherland. That is the whole heartbeat of this vision. So yeah, Sister Shirley, I'm sure that yeah. So just we're trying to, Sister Shirley, I'm trying to make sure that we are able to have like these live interfaces, like where you can see me, hear me, and I can see you, and I can hear you. I can ask you questions. You can ask me questions. That's what I would love. Thank you for tuning in, Sister Shirley Spence. Thank you for the love. I know you've been a loyal supporter together with others, thank you for reaching out to me always. And be sure to, drop me your coordinates so we can set up an actual Zoom meeting so we can go over some details. So you're welcome to the expo. It's happening on the 22nd of June to the 25th of June 2023 in Kampala, Uganda. Be sure to make plans to visit, make plans to come with an open mind, come ready to set up something that you can begin to, so you can be working there and then investing here. That's a wise way to do it. That's how Arthur Johnson is doing it. That's how Brother Larry is doing it. That's how Brother Sam is doing it. That's how Brother Arthur is doing it. That's how multiple people, that's how they're doing it. And that's a good way. That's a wise way to invest. We need to make hay. We need to make hay while the sun is still up. So thank you for all of our people that are supporting us financially. I know times are a bit challenging, but people still go out of the way to send us financial donations. We are surviving, and we live by public support from people that believe in what we are doing, that believe in the global African vision, that African people, that we can reunite, that we can rebuild, that we can rebuild together, that we can come together economically, politically, and socially, that we can revive our ancient African, kingdom. Yes, people that believe, I believe I'm a strong proponent, I'm a strong advocate for diasporans coming home. And we're working on seeing that they are easy, they easily get land, citizenship, and they set up their businesses with ease. And I want to thank His Excellency Ambassador Abe for giving us an ear. Brother Albert from the President's office for always coming in and helping us where we need to be helped. So we're working directly with the blessing of the government of Uganda, and we are very thankful that they have seen the substance, they have seen gist in what we are doing. We are trying to make sure that our people come home, that they come home, that they visit, that they relocate, that they set up businesses here, that they begin building generational wealth, that they become part of the rebuilding of the African continent, because now is the time. And once again, I encourage you that is watching to register for the event, make plans to come, see what you're missing out on. See what is making China very rich. It's coming from Africa. They come take resources. They come establish businesses here, whether it's Asians, whether it's Europeans, whether it's the American corporations, whether it's the Middle Easterners, the Arabs. Everyone is taking advantage of Africa except us. So this expo is investment. It is business. It is how do I invest? Where do I invest? How do I start? Who do I talk to? What's the modus operandi? You understand? And we are also working on ease of acquisition of dual citizenship, ease of acquisition of land, ease of business setup. And we have helped a number of people to have their businesses registered, and some of them have already started doing business. Brother Jerry has begun, producing his cards, his motor cards. Brother Larry has started his production plant. So I'm very thankful for such people, and getting such testimonies. So allow me to sign out for today. It was so wonderful to have you. Thank you for tuning in. All of you that have been on. I know Sister Shali, you've been on from the beginning and you've always been following. Brother Samuel, Brother Jerry, Brother Arthur, Sister Melka. I can't mention all of you. Thank you for supporting us, for the financial support, for dedicating your time to work with us, planning the expo. Remember, it is happening on the 22nd of June to the 25th of June, 2023. That is the African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo. Have you dreamt of investing in the motherland? This is the opportunity. We are exposing you to the infinite realm of investment opportunities. We want you to do well. We want to do well working together with you so we can reinforce unity, so we can rebuild these bridges, as Elder Geuka says, over troubled waters. Shalom, shalom. God bless you. My name is Douglas Majoga, and I'm streaming to you live from Kampala, Uganda. Till next time, be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, share the link, and of course, the big event, the main event, the African Diaspora Investment and Community Expo 2023, June 22nd to June 25th in Kampala, Uganda. We'll be talking business, we'll be talking investment. What do I do? How do I begin? Who do I work with? All those questions are going to be addressed. So you will leave this expo with something tangible, all to the glory of the Most High. I have to leave it here. Thank you for tuning in. We are working on having more consistent live streams. We are working on at least once during the beginning of the week and once towards the end of the week. So thank you for Sister Charlie. God bless you. Stay well, stay lifted, people, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.